Some people do not leave all at once. They leave slowly, emotionally, quietly, before they ever say goodbye. Ati first. They still reply. They still show up. They still act like everything is normal. But something feels different. Their warmth becomes distant. Their words become shorter. Their presence feels empty. And by the time they finally walk away, a part of them has already been gone for a long time. This is the psychology of emotional detachment. Emotional detachment does not usually happen overnight. Most of the time, it begins quietly. A person stops expecting the same things they once hoped for. They stop asking for the same attention. They stop explaining the same feelings. They stop trying to be understood by someone who keeps misunderstanding them. And slowly, their emotions begin to protect themselves. Not because they suddenly stopped caring, but because caring started to feel painful. Psychology often shows us that the mind adapts to repeated emotional disappointment. When someone feels unheard for too long, ignored for too long, or emotionally unsafe for too long, they may begin to disconnect, not as revenge, not as manipulation, but as a form of survival. Sometimes, emotional detachment is not the moment someone stops loving. It is the moment they realize they cannot keep hurting themselves just to keep a connection alive. When someone begins to detach emotionally, they may seem colder than before, less expressive, less excited, less available. But what looks like coldness on the outside is often exhaustion on the inside. They are tired of explaining, tired of hoping, tired of giving emotional energy to something that keeps hurting them. So they begin to pull back, not because they want to be cruel, but because they no longer know how to stay open without breaking themselves. This is why emotional detachment can be so confusing. To the other person, it may look like they changed suddenly, but to the person detaching, it may feel like they have been slowly disappearing for a long time. At a certain point, emotional detachment becomes less about distance and more about protection. A person may stop reacting the way they used to, not because they feel nothing, but because they have learned that every reaction costs them energy. They may stop arguing, stop explaining, stop trying to prove how much something hurt, because deep down, they already know the other person may never fully understand. And when someone reaches that place, their silence is not emptiness. It is a boundary. It is the mind saying, I cannot keep giving access to the parts of me that keep getting wounded. This is why emotionally detached people can seem calm, even when something inside them is still heavy. They are not always healed. Sometimes they are simply choosing not to bleed in front of the person who caused the wound. Have you ever reached a point where silence felt safer than explaining yourself? Or have you ever watched someone become distant and only later realized they were protecting themselves? Share your experience in the comments. Once someone has emotionally detached, even if they stay, Something inside them may not return the same way. They may still be polite, Stillkind, still present, but the part of them that used to reach for closeness may no longer reach as easily. This is one of the hardest things to understand, because emotional detachment does not always look like leaving. Sometimes it looks like staying with less hope, talking with less emotion, smiling with less warmth, and caring with more distance. The relationship may continue on the outside, but inside, the connection has changed, and when that happens, the person who detached may not be trying to punish anyone. They may simply be living with the result of being disappointed too many times. Because once the heart learns that closeness is unsafe, it does not open again just because someone finally notices the distance. Emotional detachment is not always a sign that someone never cared. Sometimes it is a sign that they cared for too long without feeling safe. It is what happens when the heart becomes tired of reaching, and the mind begins to choose peace over pain. This does not mean every relationship must end, but it does mean something has to be understood. When someone becomes emotionally distant, the question is not only, why did they change? Sometimes the deeper question is, what did they experience long enough that made distance feel safer than closeness? Because people do not always detach because they are cold. Sometimes they detach because they are exhausted. Listen before they become silent, because once silence becomes their protection, their absence may begin long before they ever leave. Emotional detachment does not always mean someone stopped caring. Sometimes it means they cared until caring became painful. So before judging someone for becoming distant, ask what they had to survive to become that quiet. If you enjoy videos about psychology, human behavior, and personal growth, subscribe to Zin Insights for more.